What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's filthiest pitches of the day. I am Pitching Ninja, and I'm here with a well-rested Will Leahey. What is happening, Will?
Ninja, we were gone from here for 2 days. It feels like we were gone for 2 months. A lot happened. We missed a skiing start. We missed the Dong of the Year by Shohei. We missed the passing of the greatest living baseball player, Willie Mays. Just a lot went down in these days, Ninja. Where were you? What were you doing, Ninja?
I was chilling at the MLB Combine, trying to get drafted, Will. Yeah, trying to show my stuff on the bump. I don't think it's going to happen this year. But no, I was interviewing people all day in the Combine. A bunch of first-round pitchers. It was a lot of fun. I mean, got to meet some really cool folks. We'll post a compilation of these videos later. You'll see the fruits of my labor pretty soon. Now, under our whip around the league, I'm going to start with Reynaldo Lopez, who had 6 Ks in 5 scoreless innings as the Braves tamed the Tigers 7-0. He had these fastballs up to 99 miles an hour, and honestly, the fastball was the pitch of the game for him. He had 8 of his 11 swings and misses on his heaters, and he outdueled Tarek Skubal, who had 7 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 5 runs, 4 of them earned, including 2 home runs. He had this painted fastball, changeups, and sliders, but really did not look like the dominant Tarek Skubal that we've all come to expect. I think we jinxed him when we said he's the best pitcher in the major leagues, but I'm not taking the blame for it. I'm not the only one who said that. Somebody else jinxed
Listen,
him.
I was trying to say he wasn't, Ninja, but listen, he can come back now and show his stuff over the end of the year and see if he can win this Cy Young Award.
Absolutely. I mean, he's leaving the door open for Corbin Burns, who just hangs around there. Hunter Greene was outstanding yesterday. This is one of his best starts ever. He had 9 strikeouts and 6 1/3 scoreless innings, giving up no walks. His fastballs were up to 100 miles an hour. He had these wicked sliders. And the pitch of the game was this splitter. Look at this. Gets a sword on it. This thing is absolutely disgusting. It's like Kevin Gosman or something. I overlaid that splitter with his slider, and you can see how much ground you have to cover if Greene is able to land that splitter. I think this one had 15 inches of horizontal break. After the game, Greene was asked about his splitters, including this splitter specifically, and he seemed pretty excited about his progress.
You've got to be happy with where that pitch has developed.
Yeah. I've worked extremely hard in the off season, and this spring training, and then in bullpens this season, being able to throw it for strikes, throw it as an expanded pitch and off in the zone. So I think it's just being able to see my work come together in games where it matters, and it's a good feeling.
Seriously, if Greene throws splitters like this, it is over for the league. I had said this before, said last year, I think Hunter Greene should add a splitter. No sign of it when I said it, and then he goes off and does it in the offseason. I'm taking credit for it. I don't care what anybody else says. That splitter's mine.
Because you'll see him being very uneven. Like there are times like today where he looks unhittable, and then there are other times where he's just not landing one of his pitches, and everybody's just keying off it, and he gets hit really hard. Since splitters have been kind of big, I was wondering maybe he's not a great pronator, and maybe a splitter might be a good call for him. I just don't know.
I love split fingers as far as the pitch mix and the depth change and allowing the arm to just be as quick as it wants to be, and the hitter swinging over the top of the arm movement. I would, if he got a split finger with that straight fastball, it'd be like a ghost fork. It'd be like, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to cover it. They wouldn't be able to stay on the velocity and really cover that split finger like Maeda did to them last night.
He faced Mitch Keller, who had 7 Ks in 7 innings and also was awesome, giving up no runs on 2 hits. Don't look now, but Keller has been really good for the past 2 months. I think Paul Skeens and Jared Jones are just driving him to be the Mitch Keller that was dominant last year. His ERA for the past 2 months is about 1.5. He had these 2 seamers and sweepers, and this is a total pitcher's duel, but the Pirates shot down the Reds 1-0. Matthew Liberatore had 1 K in 3 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this curveball. But the Marlins downed the Cardinals 4-3 behind Yanni Chirinos, who had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this fastball, sinker, and splitter. The Padres beat the Phillies 5-2. Matt Waldron had 6 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 1 run. He had this sweeper, and we don't care about sweepers here, do we, Will?
We don't. We care about his knuckleballs, and also the fact that he just has another really good start in a row, man.
Dude, you are not kidding. Matt Waldron is on fire. He's got a 1.71 ERA this month. And of course, these knuckleballs are filthy. He mixes it up so well. And I mean, I don't know. Can he sustain this pace? Maybe. I sure hope so, because I love watching knuckleballs dance. He faced Ranger Suarez, who had 4 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 1 run. He had this painted two-seamer and these curveballs. His ERA for the season, 1.75. Kyle Hendricks had 8 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 1 run on 2 hits, and was freaking outstanding.
Savage.
He helped the Cubs claw past the Giants 6-5. He had these changeups, these wicked curveballs, and elevated heaters. I mean, I don't know. They're not really heaters coming out of Kyle Hendricks' arm. And we had a return of Savage Kyle. I haven't done this in a while, but Savage Kyle made an appearance. Savage Kyle is Kyle Hendricks' evil alter ego who just trash talks. And here he is, just giving it to Ramos here, who dared to step out on an 0-2 count.
His savagery knows no bounds.
He faced Eric Miller, who had 2 Ks in 1 scoreless inning as the opener. He had this changeup at 98-mile-an-hour heater. Patrick Corbin was really good yesterday. Go figure. He had 7 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 1 run. He had this painted two-seamer, as well as these sliders, as the Nationals slid by the D-backs 3-1. Tanner Bibee had the most Ks of the day yesterday and was freaking ridiculous. He had 12 Ks in 6 innings, giving up no runs on only 3 hits. I know he's facing the Mariners. They K a lot, but his stuff was really good. He had these fastballs, sliders, picked up a White Castle special, and these hammer curveballs and nasty changeups. He had the most swings and misses of any pitcher yesterday, as the Guardians suplexed the Mariners and Ric Flair's favorite pitcher, Brian Wu. Wu only had 1 K in 4 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had this sinker. He's just coming back from his injury. I expect Wu to be at full strength next time, and more Brian Wu highlights. Speaking of coming back from injuries, Garrett Cole made his return and had 5 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 2 runs. And these fastballs, cutters, curveballs, and sliders. And he was pulled from the game after giving up a hit in the 5th inning because they figured, don't want to overdo it now. And then Ron Marinaccio gave up a home run, scoring 2 runs. And Garrett Cole looked none too happy. Those runs allowed Baltimore to pull out a wire-thin win over the Yankees, 7-6, as Will nods his head, understanding what I did there.
Shit.
He faced Cade Povich, who had 1 K in 4 2/3 innings, giving up 1 hit and 1 run. Povich had this curveball. The Red Sox downed the Blue Jays yesterday, 7-3, behind Brian Bayo in his 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these sinkers and sliders. And he faced Kevin Gausman, who had 4 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 4 earned runs. Gausman had this fastball and splitter. Been struggling, my man.
They haven't. The Sox have not been the hottest team in baseball over the last 5 games.
Even hotter than the Mets?
Yeah, the Mets lost yesterday.
Grimace has worn out. What is Grimace? He's a milkshake, right?
But he's a pervert. Ninja, I have no idea what Grimace is.
If Grimace is not a milkshake, folks, let me know what Grimace is in the comments. What a silly, silly character. Taj Bradley had 3 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. The Rays stung the Twins 3-2. He had this painted fastball and cutter. Not a lot of Ks for Bradley. Usually I expect more out of him, but he is a potential ace in the making. He faced Joe Ryan, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run, had these fastballs and splitter. Sean Manaea was solid yesterday, actually taking a no-hitter into the 6th inning. He had these sweepers and cutters. But Manaea and Grimace were unable to carry the Mets, losing 5-3 to the Rangers. He faced Andrew Heaney, who went 6 innings with 9 Ks,
Nice.
giving up 3 runs and had this elevated fastball and slider. Hunter Brown, no relation to Hunter Greene, had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run. He had good command yesterday with no walks. He had these fastballs, picked up a sword, as well as these knuckle curves. And he had this elevated knuckle curves, and I thought I'd just point this out because if we ever go to a robo zone, this thing will be impossible to hit. He clips the top part of the zone. This is a strike in the robo zone, but how are you going to hit this? You got to swing at your shoulders, basically, in order to hit this ball. Here's an overlay of Hunter Brown's fastball and curveball, and whoa, check this out. A perfect tunnel, and then that curveball just dies. Dude, Hunter Brown is feeling it now and maybe starting to turn his season right side round. The Astros flew past the White Sox 4-1, despite Garrett Crochet pitching fairly well. He had 8 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. He had this fastball, but the story of the game was his cutter. Look at these cutters. These are unfair. Up to 95 miles an hour on his cutters. Just filthy stuff. He had 11 swings and misses on his cutter, 7 on his fastball. He had the second most swings and misses yesterday at 19. Still not enough for the White Sox to win, but do we really expect the White Sox to win?
Absolutely not.
Bobby Miller was back, and who was the joker that decided to bring Bobby Miller back and bring him back at Coors Field? Like, if you're going to bring him back in a low-run environment. Don't throw him to the Wolves. This is just my advice, but I wouldn't do this to you, Bobby. He had 2 Ks in 6 1/3 innings, giving up 5 runs, had these changeups. The Rockies rocked the Dodgers 7-6. He faced Ryan Feltner, who had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 6 runs. Feltner had the sweeper and curveball. The Brewers hopped past the Angels 2-0. Freddie Peralta turned good again. He had 8 Ks in 6 scoreless innings. He had been but yesterday was good Freddie Peralta day. He had these heaters and changeups, picked up a sword on his changeup. He faced Tyler Anderson, who had 5 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 1 run. I like this where he messed with timing and then painted with his fastball. Luis Medina made the Royals' bats funky and cold as the A's won 5-1. He had 3 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 1 run and had this 98-mile-an-hour heater. He faced Cole Reagans, who had 7 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. Reagan's command was a little shaky, gave up 4 walks, but still was pretty good. He had these fastballs, sliders, changeup, and beautiful backdoor cutter. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Blake Trinan had this back foot slider. Coors Field doesn't with him. Dylan Tate had this sweeper. Robert Suarez had this painted 100-mile-an-hour fastball. You know, this game messed me up because I know Ranger Suarez started for the Phillies. Robert Suarez closed for the Padres. So I'm seeing R. Suarez for a save, and I'm like, wait, they got this wrong. Ranger Suarez didn't get a save. He started. There's Robert Suarez. There's too many Suarezes, Will.
They'll get you.
Mason Miller had this slider and 101-mile-an-hour paint. Trevor McGill had this knuckle curve. Grant Holmes had this curveball. Brandon Finnegan had this fastball and splitter. And if he gets traded, he's going to get thrown into a pennant race, and that dude is a legit closer. And Joan Duran had this filthy curveball. My top 5 filthiest pitches of the day yesterday. At number 5, we have Kyle Hendricks and his curveball. Hell, give it to Savage Kyle and his curveball. At number 4, Tanner Bibee and his breaking stuff. At number 3, Austin Adams and this slider to Salvi. He gets a swing and miss at this pitch that is at least 3 feet off the plate. Like, what are we doing here? This would have been behind a left-handed hitter. Ridiculous. Then he gets this K with sliders and gives a golf clap walking off the field. A little taunt here. I love myself some Austin Adams. Dude is electric. At number 2, Emmanuel Clase and this painted 102-mile-an-hour backdoor slider. This is just stupid. Shouldn't be allowed to do this. Even in Ninja Land, you shouldn't be allowed to do this. And at number 1, Hunter Greene and that ridiculous splitter that hopefully will turn his entire season around and melt teams for the rest of the season, because Hunter Greene throws this, it is over for the rest of the league.
Seemed to go. That was wicked.
And now my pitching ninja moment of Zen. We saw sad Garrett Cole earlier. Well, here's proud Garrett Cole and his son at the game. This is so wholesome. My picks of the day today are a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to start out with Luis Castillo for 5 Ks or more, then take Luis Heel for 6 Ks or more, and top it off with Mackenzie Gore for 6 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?